for the YouTube side. Let's get this going so we can get some theme park building. So we're playing today Planet Coaster 2. We're going to be checking out the brand new update that dropped this morning. The big feature it's adding is, as you can see from the picture, there are now going to be parades in the parks that you can design and everything. And it's not just you like be like, here's the parade route and they just magically happen. You can design the floats and everything. How this all works? I have no idea. I haven't played it yet. But we're gonna figure it out together. It also added some flat rides and a bunch of other nonsense. There's apparently you can do like the time sequencers and all that, which if you're someone who likes to get into it, like, oh hey, you passed this spot in the park and then the fireworks go off, you can do that. For me personally, I definitely don't have the patience for that level of detail, but you know, there's that. Because you generally prefer it, but you want it a long run. Yeah, no, that's fine. It sounds like really interesting, though. You've been curious about how to get into animal care like zoos and aquariums away from healthcare? I hope she enjoys it. Yeah, she does. I mean, honestly, if you have any type of degree in like biology or anything like that, it's a very hard industry to break into. Like the aquarium, zoology, and all that kind of stuff. There's definitely like the approach of going and taking, you know, the really, I don't want to say low because that gives the wrong impression. The not paying well jobs at like the earlier you know, zoo like things, because even getting like a handler job, a zoo handler job, can be very competitive. But if you're willing to come in at like the bottom, it is an industry you can kind of like use that to get your foothold and then branch off into. But yeah, it's rough. It's like people getting marine biology degrees. The likelihood of them being able to use their marine biology degree for marine biology is exceptionally small. There's just not that many jobs out there. But that said, you have a biology degree, anything that accepts a biology degree will work. For, you know, take those people. You had a friend who was a zookeeper training course after a biology degree. It was intense. Oh yeah, no, zookeepers, it's a rough job. It's a job people are very passionate about, but it's rough. Yours is nursing and history and bachelor's. Honestly, I feel like the nursing job, the aquarium side, I don't think you'd be able to break in as easily, but like the zookeeper side. But you're going to be taking, to say you're taking a pay cut, you're going to be taking a pay cut. So it'd have to be something you do because you love, because the pay ain't going to be there. Alright, so it's saying, you know, the guests are going to go, ooh, Bilika or something? I don't know that word. At Vista Points and new event spots. Set your points focus on watch your guests' amusement, and even plan elaborate event sequences and event. That's too much words. We're making parades. All of this, we're making parades. Congratulations. So, what we're gonna probably do is, well, that's me doing achievement stuff off stream. I gotta remember, because there was challenge mode, and of the challenge modes, we've got the less than ethical world, and mostly ethical rides and entertainment that we made the last couple of times. I think we're gonna make a new park. Well, the question is, do I want to do... Actually, one second. We did challenge mode last time. I'm trying to remember the different modes. And this happens every single time I play the game, because the modes in this game are kind of like... Right, there's a franchise mode where you can branch off all over the world and make a bunch of different parks that are all tied together. And have your big company. Which you got 21 hours in there. And I'm trying to remember, because some of these... Right. These ones had challenges about them that if you do certain things in it, you can unlock additional stuff. So I can go in here and I could, like, try and qualify. Whereas the challenge mode, you can't do that. This park, I clearly didn't do anything. That's not what I wanted to do. I was going to try and, like, delete the park. Let's see if it's at the beginning. If it's at the beginning, I didn't even check where we're at in the world. Because the challenge... Okay, so I literally didn't do anything. So this is a brand new park. I haven't spent a dime. Cool, cool. Where were we at in the world? I wasn't paying attention at all. So this was less than ethical world. And the reason we were going into is this is the normal mode when you play the game. It's not that hard to be successful in this mode. And then there's a challenge modes that are still reasonable to manage. I really wish Frontier Developments Let me turn on the challenge difficulty in this mode. Okay, so let's go ahead and get things started. We have this entrance. This doesn't feel like a default entrance, but that's okay. I haven't spent any money, so it must be. We're going to make ourselves a nice, really wide walkway coming in here. Because the idea behind... I didn't even look at the map at all. So it's mostly flat. There's like a little elevation here, and it looks like a spot of water over there. But it's a relatively flat map. So let's see what we can do for our styles. I need to remember how to do all this because it's been more than 30 seconds. Okay. So we can go to our different styles. How about we make our main entrance into our place? We're gonna do brick. Let's see how that looks. I don't think it's gonna look good. Alright. So we're gonna kind of do like the main... Honestly, that's not as hideous as I was worried it was gonna be. So we're starting off with like a main walkway into the park. They come in here, they get to our main walkway. We'll probably want to do some kind of entrance later, but that's fine. We got $100,000 to play with. Let's get this going. And generally speaking, usually when I do Planet Coaster 2, I will try and set up like some type of like, here's your information desk, all that sort of stuff right at the entrance. I think we do a little different. Like in real life, you would have a bunch of stuff out here before your turnstiles for like your information, your ticket booths, you'd have a bathroom out here somewhere, probably like, you know, some type of coffee place or whatever. And then you'd have your actual like turnstiles to get in. And they usually won't put anything like in this area right by the beginning when you make a real life park. And the reason for that is everyone's walking into this place in this narrow walkway, like, and it can broaden out or whatever. Like a lot of times you'll actually have gates the whole way across. But you don't want people meandering in this spot. And the reason you don't want that is because then that kind of clogs the works of going on. And then usually once you get past that immediate area, you start to branch out like, okay, most parks need to be like a round area or figure eight or whatever. But they'll go out and be like, okay, you've got some attractions over here, you got some stuff over there, maybe there's restaurants, whatever the thing is. But the goal there is to not keep people in this front area more than you need to. But this is a video game. We can ignore all that crap. What I'm thinking I'm going to do in this case, though, is I do think we're going to try a little something. I can draw the paths. I haven't done this. Ooh, do I want to curve? We'll curve it. There's zero chance I'm going to be able to make this symmetrical. Okay. Oh, we could turn on length snap. That'll help. Can you, like, show me the ruler on this? It's fine. I'm trying to think how I can make this with this. Alright, so let's go here. Grab the tiles there. And we can use these as my measuring device. Kind of do it city skyline style. Alright, so we've got that going on. So let's take the draw tool. Think about that spot there. That's what I was afraid of. Okay. So straight. Do this. Curved. Oh. That'd be 13%. Curved. It's been so long since I've done this, I'm trying to remember the tricks. That's kind of one of the things about, like, you can do some amazing stuff, but this whole game is like learning. Okay, so 10%, learning how to finagle the tools into doing what you want. So 15%. Too steep. What do you mean too steep? All right, new plan. We're gonna not use these here. We're gonna get rid of those. And we're just gonna eyeball it. Everyone knows the best engineering is when you go, we have the sensitive plan where everything needs to be nice and well lined up and perfect and everything. You go, looks about right. I'm also interested that's not snapping over to this. You know, I bet you I need to do to make this work. Around here should be about even. Okay. It's not perfect. But we got ourselves a little wide opening area here. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some buildings going on here. Because that's what ultimately we need to do now. Is I'm going to need to put some businesses in here. Well, not businesses. Going to need to put like the various like facilities we need. And there is Sentient Cookie hitting their 800 stream streak. I'm going to quickly do this because we keep kind of waiting for that to break. So 800 is a big round number. I'm going to grab the 800 stream streak there and save that image. Just that way, whenever it does break, we got that stashed away. Now, if you're someone who's like, I'm not a very creatively inclined person or just don't want to, you can get these where they're already like prefabbed. It's got all these decorations around it, and they have like tons of them. And they have like a couple different themes to them and everything. That's actually a really big one. That's weird. Oh, I see. I can put this in front of that. That's kind of cool. So you have like all these ones that they've taken the time to theme them up, dress them up, look them nice. You can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose Create Custom. So the things we're going to need is we need... Oh, right, the arcade machines. We are going to need the guest services shop. I'm going to put that right here. We're going to put a restroom in. Right next to it. And all that. We'll want food and drink and all these. We'll want staff facilities as well. I think those will be the major things we issue with there. Yeah, so this side will put the staff stuff in here as well. So let's grab our staff things. So we are going to want a small staff building. And I'm going to chuck that back here. And then there's the mechanic shop. We'll chuck that back there. Alright. So and this is the start for a main entrance. So you'll notice I got just a couple of handful of things there. Let's go ahead and get our first actual building going on. Now, one of the tricks in this game to make your stuff look good and authentic is to keep in mind not what the game requires, but what real life is necessary. So if you're looking at the space where you got these tiny little blocks, that doesn't reflect at all what the real world looks like. I'm trying to think of what style you want to use for this. Yeah, you got like the water park style. Breeze block? What's breeze block look like? It's kind of big brick, like cinder block. You got red brick. What are you? Painted brick wall. And work with that. And let's see here. Do you want to do garish and orange for everything? Probably not. Let's try the gray. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I want to scooch you on here. I don't know why you're... There you go. So we got our facade there. We need to do the same here. It's weird that that's fighting me on this one. I'm not used to doing that. Okay, so we got those two there. But what it's going to say is when you're dealing with this... I don't understand what's happening with this right now. There. Now it's behaving like I expect it to. So, in real life, this wouldn't be like a bathroom that'd be this tiny little spot here, or this wouldn't be a spot here. There would be space back here that'd be utilized by it. Because it's video game, that's just not the case. So, part of what you can do to make your places look a little bit more authentic is to make the buildings and all that larger to be more appropriate for what that space would be like, you know, if this were genuinely functional. Okay, so this is going to be dead space that we don't care about. I am going to tuck away some building stuff back here that I need, but you get the idea. So one thing that's going to need to do is the handrail is going to have to go away from these paths. We can go over here, go to our paths. I'm going to have to remember how we do this. So extras, I want the handrails off. And then I can go here, paintbrush. And so the handrails are gone from that side. And now we want to get some staff areas. I'm going to grab the stamp as opposed to what we had before. And for the stamp... Oh, right, it was style. And for the staff paths... Sorry, I got like something in my eye. We'll just go ahead and give those a color. And we can recolor these later if we're like, oh man, this orange is awful. One, why do you hate orange? But then two, we could just take that same paint tool and just go over. It doesn't even cost us anything. Let's go ahead. Choose this, like, purple. Okay. And then we can go in here, and if we go to facilities, one of the other things we're going to need is we need power. What we're going to do is we're going to shove a power thing right there. We'll also need a distributor. Now, distributors don't actually have to be serviced in this game. So those I like to hide inside buildings and all that because they don't need to be seen. And also, weirdly, you are not attaching to the ground. What are you doing? That's fine. Okay. So that gives us power to that whole area. So that gave us our bathroom and all that. Obviously, having a building that's got nothing here, that's just brick on all sides, is probably not going to be the play. We'll get back to that building. So the next thing I need is for my facilities. We are going to need gift shops and some basic places to eat and whatnot. And I'm curious about how I want to do it. Well, what we can do, let's do the modular gift shop for the front. That's what we'll do right here in the entrance. This will be the gift shop. Because everyone knows when you leave the park, you are dang well going through the gift shop. And if you didn't plan to go through the gift shop, that's too bad. You're going through the gift shop. So for this to work, what I'm going to need to do is I got to figure out how we can set this up. I want the same brick and all that. I know there's a tool to like grab individual segments and copy them. All right, that's fine. These are the right things. So we're going to want to go ahead. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start. Put a wall there. It's required that you buy at least a plushie. I mean, everyone has their gift type, but yeah, no, we were gonna buy something in the gift shop. There is a reason they put them everywhere. Yeah, it's fine. We'll have our entrances to the gift shop. Hold that for a moment. You can slide over here. Because we're not monsters. We're not Walt Disney World. I will allow you to sit down someplace. I'm just removing the handrails because there's no reason for handrails up against the side of a building. But we will offer you shade and all that. Weirdly, that's slightly hovering off the ground. We'll get that resolved. And check out the Ints, another fantastic content creator. Someone else to check out on the platform. But good times were there. Alright, so let's go in here. So for accessories, weirdly, it's got that toggle. Oh, it's because I'm doing this one. It's fine. So we can grab you and do the draw tool. Yeah, weirdly, it doesn't have the option of turning that off. Okay, so I don't want this to be the same style as outside, because it would be weird for you to walk in here and have that. We can grab the mosaic floor. Straight. It's very orange. You know what? I can live with that. It's a little weird, but I can live with it. Alright, so we've got it so that's a walkable area now. So let's grab this building again. We're going to edit the building. We're going to go to Facilities. And you have the Modular Souvenir Store. Because everyone knows, before we have any rides or anything like that, we're building a gift shop. Let's see, should be able to change color in the menu? Yeah, you can. I changed it to orange, and I was debating whether or not I wanted to keep it. So we are going to need cash registers. What I'm trying to remember is... Yeah, so this side faces the customer. We need to fit our theme, so you... Choose the purple, I guess? A little garish, but you know... And we're not going to use this one at the beginning. But I know we will want to expand to that at some point. So I've got registers by both doors. And now we just need a bunch of shelves for a bunch of goods. We got our postcard shelves. We'll put those by the registers. Those are the kind of things that people tend to buy on their way out the door. We got our balloon shelves. A bunch of balloons right by the entrance. Okay, so when you look at these, they'll have different gift types. So you see where it says Planet Coaster theme, and then right below, above it has like a heart-shaped balloon, and that tells me those merchandise types. Those aren't listed on these shelves. So you've got a bunch of different shelves that have different things they can carry. So like these can carry all like the little souvenirs and the plushies, but the little shelf here can't carry the plushies. Meanwhile, this one can carry the looks whatever the guitar and cup icon are. This is the pool floats. They can only be bought here. So we are going to... Oh, good. It's keeping the color theme. Alright, so make this side deal with stuff like pool floats. Maybe. Why are you not snap? That's weird. Oh, I think it's not snapping because it's considering this a walkable area through the wall. I probably will have to put some kind of blocker there, or they might try and walk through the wall because weird game things. Alright, well, let's go ahead and we can plan for the pool floats to be over here somewhere. We have a bunch of pool float things. We will have the pool rings in the same rough area. Okay, so that gives t-shirts. Okay, we got the umbrella stands. That's another one of those ones to get on the way out the door. And weirdly, this one did not follow the color palette. So let's put umbrellas by both these doors as well. You get your umbrella and your postcard. Okay, so now we've got tchotchkes. Yeah, so the t-shirts are something that only can be purchased on this stand. We'll put those over here, I think. Those be all the wall, like the wall for all your souvenir shirts. Okay. So with that, we've got all of our like various merchandise. So we do have these shop shelves that can have the plushies on it. So we've got a standing display. What's the difference? We got this style. So one of them has a bottom shelf, the other has a cabinet. The cabinet doesn't really matter game mechanics wise, but still. I'm going to add a bunch of these along the back wall here. Because that's where all our plushes will be and all that. And then we got our island shelves. And the island shelves are a little bit more restricted on what can appear on them. So one thing I can do to make my life a little easier. Oh, right. I was going to grab that and drag it individually. So we could just drag and clone. Okay. Now what I should be able to do is, I believe, I go like this. We can group select that. And we don't want to grab, like, what do I want to grab? Okay, so paths. Remove the paths. Then I've got this. And I should be able to go here and choose duplicate advanced. And now I got a second set of shelves right here. Actually, for a floor plan, that actually might make more sense. Let's grab... all of that. Paths off. Was it being one of these two? Okay, so those are the ones where I just need to cover a little bit. Alright, cool. How do people move by the shelves? I'm working on them now. Because I decided I wanted to make them long ways towards the cash register so a person could walk right through. Alright, and that'll be the start of our gift shop, so far as, like, what's available here. So now the move is going to be to assign these. So add shelves. That's not what I meant to do, it is what I did. It's not add shelves here, it's connect existing. And you'll get these as well. Okay, so it's nearly max capacity for that one. And we're gonna go to this one. Connect existing. Same deal. Grab a bunch of the generic stuff in the middle. Then you'll handle all of the plushies and t-shirts. Now, so it came up pretty close to the max we can go. So now if we look in here, we've got all of our merchandise on our shelves of various types and whatnot. So that's all good news there. I am going to have to turn on both of those. Now, the thing we probably want to do with this is obviously not having a roof and all that's going to make this look weird. Then go to scenery. Let's try and figure out how do I want to build this up. Because we've got those block walls, and I know I can go here and duplicate you. What I can probably do is just use the block walls as filler here. And then I can get, like, there's window decorations and stuff like that. And you can shove it on there. Now, if you're someone who's playing this game, you're like, dude, I am not that creative. I do not have time to figure this out. You can skip all of this. You can just choose to not decorate it up. Okay, so we've got all that. So the next thing to figure out is the roof part. I want to do that. I do want shade to be available, because I'm not a monster. No, we're still alive. We did have a major update came out for Roller Coaster Tycoon, or not Roller Coaster, Planet Coaster. There was like a major update, so we're just checking it out today, and then we'll be back to the colony tomorrow. That's the plan, at least. Some of the updates for Planet Coaster, we've done like the whole stream, and some of them we've done like a half stream. This is supposed to be a really big update, so we'll see how it goes. Another thing to not be afraid of in this game is sometimes with the existing tiles they give you, you just won't find a tile that does the thing you want it to do. Don't be afraid to use stuff for things that aren't really what they're labeled to be. Actually, delete these two. I can put some like a little coffee stand or whatever down here. I can use the big overhang here. I can potentially put use the other spot here. Alright, so we need to get a roof on this thing. So let's start with pitched roofs. So let's see, we got the brick. So the dark aged wood honestly would not look too bad on that brick. So the aged wood is definitely a strong candidate. Okay, the corrugated is not particularly good looking, which is not super surprising. That's more of a water park type things. The cardboard looks like cardboard for that, which has got like a very specific theming to it. The corrugated iron roof. No. I think we're going with the aged wood. That's the cracker. Oh, what about the I'm gonna go with the aged wood. Let's just do it. Do it to it. So we got our aged wood. So with that, we need to find the one that is just a straight up normal angle. What is the snap we've got? Auto stacking on. Gotcha. That might be one of their new features. I remember they did a couple new features so far as like changing how the building works. Because there was some annoyances you ran into with a lot of this, not really being able to have that much control over it. So the question is, do we continue to angle it or do we just flatten it out? I think I'm going to flatten it out. So let's switch that. Aged wood. So right now, not a very attractive building. It's just a big, like, a big box with whatever. We'll get there. So let's stop with that location real fast. Let's go back over here. We definitely want to go and give this a little bit more character as well. We can do the same kind of thing here. Duplicate, auto stack. Trying to think if we want to do like a balcony or something. That's fine. Okay, we can go scenery. We'll need to go back to these walls. And you can go into filters here, like if you know what you want, so you don't have to like scroll through everything. I haven't been paying attention to the names, so I'm not really in that amazing a spot. I think this is the brick we were using. No. We were using the painted brick. We can go right here and go painted. All right. Now, one thing I do appreciate this game does is it does award you for doing this kind of stuff. It's completely unnecessary in the sense that, like, if you don't want to do it, you can skip it. But your rides and all that and stores and that have a scenery bonus, where if you take the time to get them a nice scenery... There you go. It's in the wrong spot. Alright, so we want the aged roofs that are just the straight up angle. You can also change the snap height to be not quite as ridiculous. I'm gonna need to deal with that inside area. Didn't think about that. I'm not gonna have that go the whole way up. We're gonna give it a ceiling. Okay, we're lined up. So now all I need to do is go down in here. Because we got an inside space here that we probably don't want to be a thing. I can't at all see what's happening right now. Okay, so now by doing it that way, you walk in here, there's actually a ceiling on top of this. Now granted, it's basically a cave, so we're going to want to get a little bit of scenery going on here, so we can go ahead and take the aged off. We're going to go over to our lights, and try and decide what kind of wall lights. The heck? Stick to surface, align to surface. Oh, air conditioning unit? Well, that's deeply upsetting. Alright. It's a lot of these like little decorations and all that can make all the difference. Because, you know, then when you go around you see like the AC units and all. So this is the problem. What are you? Is that the ceiling I'm seeing? It is. I'm going to leave it alone for right now because I don't want to get into that. Alright, so back to what we were doing. So edit building, scenery. Oh wait, the air conditioners were under the... Oh, it's just under all the props. We want lights. Well, that's kind of cool. Not what we're looking for. What? Why would you call that a light? Got bamboo torches. The aquatic, like, dome lights. You got the lamppost that you can kick against and hurt your leg. Bunch of glowing things. Candles for your walls. Just straight up candle chandelier in the employee's entrance. A jar with fireflies because we're definitely not going to pay. I've used these. I actually really like these lights when it's dark. They've got a green hue to them. Oh yeah, artificial fiberglass lighting. This is about what we're looking for the employee entrance, or the employee space. Actually, one second. So a trick you can do to make it so you can get these all leveled out. Copy and adjust. And if you want them to be exact, you can snap them a distance apart. Then copy the pair of them and do it again. So one thing I should have done before I started copying them all edit building, grab you. We can go. Usually these have a setting for on and off. Right, different set of lights. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so most of these lights have like an on and an off. So I was curious why that one. Spotlight in there. Modern hanging light. Oh, we can just go straight up fluorescence? Heck yeah, man. Mood on. Oh, that's rotation random on. Where are your light settings? Okay, so you're like that. You put a brazier down. Mythical scrolls. Alright, I'm trying to find... There we go. The planet coaster light should work fine. So let's put one of these down and then figure out what we gotta do to actually make it light up. Right there. Night only. Loop. There you go. There we go. And now we can duplicate it every once in a while. Oh, I see. It's fine. There's ways you can effectively give yourself exact measurements. I'm not gonna sweat it. Alright. So at least now, when you go in the employee area, you can see. Measure never cut once. Blame someone else. Alright, let's go ahead. Yeah, so a concern I have here is that this wall, they will attempt to walk through this wall because technically there's a path there. Let's see if we can't resolve that, because I'm a little worried about that being a whole cursed thing. So let's go to the paintbrush, go to here. So there's the railing that you can see. I don't want that. We'll just see what happens, because I don't know the tricks to that. Alright, so we've got this open area. You know, we got some restrooms tucked in over here. We got a little information stand. This building, weirdly, is just a big brick building. Got the floor sticking. You know what? Alright. Change of plan here. Because what it looks like on the inside's not as poor as having, like, this weird thing shoved to the side of it. So let's see if we go back to our wall panels. Okay, so that stands through. Alright. So the curiosity is, can I find something that doesn't stick through the wall? Yeah, so I can't rotate that. Alright. Let's not get caught up. We'll leave that alone for right now. We can come back to that later after we have actual rides up and going. Alright, Basset, you sleep well. Thank you again for tuning in, hanging out. Alright, so the next move here... Oh, I missed one tile. I thought I did. And weirdly, I can cross through things to the side, but not to the top. so deal with that later. Okay. So you got that monstrosity there. Now, I'm going to want to add in an area for food and all that. So let's go like just up a little ways farther here. And we can go to facilities. Where are we at? So we got food. So we can actually make a restaurant kitchen. It's when I say it's a new thing, it's actually not that new. It's been in the game for a while. But we could make a restaurant here, like a proper restaurant, right there to deal with all that stuff. Let's go to that. So for this, I go ahead and grab the paint tool. Actually, do I want to do the paint tool? Okay. So that'll be where the restaurant takes place. We'll just shove you over there. Well, actually, shove you in between here for now. Alright. So with this, we're going to want to go to facilities, the restaurant counter. Okay, so you want to snap to the edge, but you don't want to snap on it. That's okay. What we can do here then is I will delete this corner. We'll grab the restaurant. And I'll snap the counter right there. Okay. I actually did want to... Okay, cool. So it's gone back to scenery. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our next scenery. Now I got the choice if I can keep going with the painted walls, but I feel like we should mix it up where it's not all the buildings looking the same. Let's try and make this in like a, Those are the smaller walls. Okay, what's that look like? Can I get those same resort things later? No. I see, so if I put it here, it merges over top of it. That's fine. I might be able to make something that looks like windows there. That'll be the door into the restaurant. Because now what I might be able to do... Nope. Okay, let's see what we can do for the front. Yes, that's large window. Okay. So we would need to put something in there as a window or glass or something like that. Because I'm curious if there is a thing like that. Actually, let's check on this. If there is, yeah, so that's all your tags. Because I got these windows here, and what I'm not sure about is what we can do to add actual glass to that window. Okay, glass pane, that should work. And you are just square. Then grab the advanced tool. And we could say, I would like bigger. Drag it over. Sink it in slightly. Okay. So the question here, okay, so there's no color to the glass, so I can't, like, take that glass and do whatever. It's mostly just a thing for shades, shadows to go on. Alright, but that's fine. So then what I'm going to do here... Honestly, with that being set up like that, yeah, I think, because we'd probably want the back wall to be solid, because there's probably nothing to look at on the back wall. You wouldn't want the wall facing directly into the other wall to be the side that has windows either. Alright, I was gonna do this. Get rid of you two. So let's grab... you over there. Then grab the glass pane. Do not stick to surface. Okay, you can start there. Okay. And now I duplicate it over. I'm making a balcony on this one. Let's make sure that glass reaches the whole way down. It does. Okay. So needless to say, this is not complete yet. We're going to have to fix that. Now, I just for the life of me forget how you do the floors inside these places. Let's see, working height. Yeah, so you could change that. All right. So we have this. Cut you down to 4 wide. One moment, chat. Never mind. I'll have to wait to deal with that. I was gonna get a call about the tree cutting thing. I'm like, I don't want to get into the habit, like, because for those who missed the beginning of stream, I had a tree fall on my property and I'm dealing with that. But I don't want to, like, encourage calling me at 8 p.m. my time and all that nonsense. We want the railing. Wooden beam. That's just about... I'm having problems dealing with that. Yeah, tree fell in our yard. Luckily, it missed the house just barely. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do here is get flooring here so we can walk on that. And remember, it's a whole thing. What's bothering me is when I switch off of this. Now, granted, I don't actually need the floor to function. I just need it to be there. So let's go sceneries. Do this. Can I choose floor? Yes, I can. So corrugated floor, painted brick floor. Heritage brick floor. So basically the trees heard you're talking crap and they hit tree after you. Yep. Plaster floor? Plaster floor would work. When I'm running into the problem, so I'm gonna have to make these buildings stick out. Not how I usually built them, but it is proving to be a problem more and more. Oh, here, this will be better. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So I'll need to fix the frames in these so I can put those in there. So the big thing is there one for stairs? Viking stairs? Oh yeah, imagine that. These are clearly not meant to be used in the game as part of pathing. Just going to a restaurant having this be how you get up to the next floor. So what we should be able to potentially do here is take a path from up there to down there. Let's fix this front. It is going to require me to fix the glass on all of this. There you go. Looks like bunk bed stairs. I know, that's like man, eat your meal and then deal with that. Let's see, and they would have a sign next to it that said we are disabled at disability accessible. We have the one spot in the corner. What are you talking about? Just the one? Nah, it does happen that way a lot, unfortunately. So you are what type of wall? You are a wooden wall. That does check out. Wooden. Because what I need to find is how I'm dealing with this spot here on the corner then. They've gotta have a piece that is like, this is your corner piece. Alright, where are you? Yeah, because we got all this stuff. There's a roof ridge. Darkwood pillar. Yeah, it's probably dealing with columns of various kind. It's just weird. I would think for something like this, they would just have that already sorted. It feels weird to not... We got floors, roofs, things, arches. Arches are kind of specific. Decorations. It's weird to have the walls here where we've got this stuff, and then clearly I have to move it out to accommodate the ceiling or the floors, but then not have a dedicated, this is the thing you put in the corner. Like whether it's a rounded corner, because you got like the giant things here, but that's not what we're looking for. Because even the columns, if they were to have a column, you'd want it to snap in place there. But the columns, you got like these things, and these can certainly work. A lot of them aren't the right size, so I'd have to scale them. So it's a little weird that they don't just already have set pieces for that. Because, like, and you're not the right size to fit this. We can scale it up. I'm just surprised at that as an omission. Gotta be some here, right? It's decorative trim, columns, planks, doors. Weird, awkward silence. I can use the arch extensions to frame it out, but then I have the weird archway in the middle. That feels like a weird thing, because I haven't worried about that before, because I'm trying right now to do the second floor, and that's what's causing me grief, is where, for those who missed, when I move this in, some of these, that floor sticks through. You see, like, the floor is sticking through here. And that's with it snapping to the grid and all that. Alright. Just checking one thing. Cool, cool. So that's my confusion, is how to prevent that from bleeding through. Right now, we might just have some cursed corners, and I might just pretend it's fine. And we can get to it later. Okay, so one thing I will need, though, is I'm going to have to go back to the walls here. What am I snapping to? What's going on here? So what I want to do... for ourselves some type of ledge. Yeah, because that's implying it's branching out. Alright, I'm moving these. I'm doing the way I normally do this. And I'll figure out how to deal with the, I'll figure out real quick how to deal with the whole stuff sticking. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We can deal with the stuff sticking through. Okay. Because worst case, I could put like an awning or something over the window to hide it. It wouldn't be so bad if it was consistent, though. Like, the weird thing is it doesn't show here. Isn't something weird like... Okay. I guess there's a front and back to these. At least that makes it easier to solve. Alright, let's move all this in. And I might need to move the restaurant, you know, quote-unquote facility. Because that's what started this whole mess. Was having on the inside of the block. Yeah, it caused it to stick through that way. But we can deal with that. Alright. Honestly... Oh no, you can absolutely see it in here. Alright, so what we can do here to resolve this is let's not have it in the corner like that. I mean, I didn't mean to delete it, but it's gone, so that's fine. You can go to facilities, restaurant. That's fine. I keep poking through the ceiling. I'm sure people who do this all the time have this like down packed. So then the real question here is does it consider this already a walkable surface, or will I have to put path onto it? I will have to use paths to connect this, it seems. Which, there's that, so I'm probably going to need to do... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this doesn't count as path for our purposes. Okay, so if I change your path type, what can I do with this? So let's go here. First of all, turn off the railing, turn off the add-ons. Go to this, paint path. Alright. So can I go to the stamp tool and basically give it a not path path? Nature invisible. That's what we want. So what we can do here then is, if my understanding of this is correct, we have invisible path. And our guests can walk on it. Alright. Then for this, let's delete that ramp. Have to fix that down there. We can go to you. And again, I'll need to turn this back. So plan here. Okay, so we go like that, it's not shut, or it's a little too steep. Let's go here. Plug you down. Now I got some stairs. I need to go in here and clean this crap up. Okay. Alright, so I can get rid of the stairs. It's not exactly what I wanted to do. So let's start with this, just going straight on. Oh my god. This camera getting stuck on the floor. And this is me not having practice is what it is. Okay, so what we can probably do is we can make this work fairly easy. I can grab the wall. Cool. So we got this. Oh, we need one more segment of wall there. That'll do. I have no idea what those are, but I'm going to just ignore them and pretend it's fine, because it's not that big a deal. And it's one of those things, you can spend time just like roller coaster tycooning this, where you just plunk down your rides and do all that. You can get like just super creative designer mode, where you just make a pretty park, and you'll do a bit of both. All right, so we've got kind of our little area here. I do feel like there should be some type of canopy coming out here. I don't know what all these. Oh, those are the markers for the invisible floor. I see. Can I make that not that way? So let's go here. Invisible. Add support, foundation, curbs. Okay, there we go. Cool. So we've got a whole area there that should be functional. So now what I need to do is add tables. We gotta choose the style of tables we're doing. We can do like picnic benches, Viking tables, Western tables, toy box tables. The sorcery tables are always one of my favorite. Slowly lose my mind. And that's inside the main part. Little bit of outdoor seating. Okay, got some seating over there. So got a ton of seating. So let's get back to editing the building. Because unlike the other one, this is a place we do want to have light. So sceneries, do this, lights. So what would be a good light for in here? Netted glass balls. We could just straight up put oil lamps on each table. Okay. And you can get to the point of, like, fully decorating the walls to a ridiculous degree. You can lose a lot of time in this. Now, the good news is once we get these early decoration stuff done, like the restaurant, I only need the one. At least for a long time. I can just go out there and put, like, burger kiosks or whatever. I actually don't even need the restaurant. You can just go straight up with burger kiosks. You can even go with, like, just vending machines only if you want. Alright. So, we've got our main entrance into our park right now. We've got our two giant monolithic brick buildings that are certainly not the most attractive entrance. I should do something about that later. You got, like, a restaurant over here on the right. That's a gift shop on the left. We could add other stuff down here later. But for right now, I would like to actually get into the park and all that kind of stuff. So, the first thing we probably want to do is branch off to where we're going to have rides. Let's have a little gap here so we have later expansion possibilities. Let's see. There is a pipette tool somewhere here. There you go. So I can start with this. We're going to curve that. Like I said, give enough room so if I want to expand later, we can. We can go 3 out. Then 5 at the curve. 3 out. Not sure what's going on with that, but we'll fix that. Okay, we can fix this using you. I just want it to work. There's always like the finagling part of things. Alright, so what we can do here is ignore all that. We'll just do it this way. So we'll connect you to you. You to you. What I don't really understand is why this is being weird, putting the seam here. What I can do is I'll take that one spot up, and you. Because now we're connecting a straight-on shot to a straight-on shot. It shouldn't fight me. There we go. Cool. Is an expansion joint? Heaven help us if they ever add that to this game. Alright, just making a nice symmetrical center part. So we got a little bit of a loop here. We'll have that branch out into like other areas, but that's kind of the start. So let's go ahead and for the time being, this can be like the main area. Let's go and get ourselves some different tiles. Yeah, let's go halfway around over here. One second, I want that to be darker. Let's grab you. Okay. All right, and let me grab a spot here. And that'll do for right now for that. We need to get some actual rides going on here. So I'm going to go toss an area over here. Ideally, I'd want to have stuff closer here. I'm trying to kind of keep that space available for later. One other thing I could probably do here. So this is the employee area. Let's grab a little employee park, a little employee path here. Make it as small as possible. It's basically a shortcut for the employees to cut across. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our first rides going, because I put way too much time into that. So we're going to create a custom ride. And we got tons of flat rides. Those are usually not a bad choice for your first rides anyways, because the flat rides, you kind of plunk them down, and they could do your whatever, and you can go ahead and expand on there later. So I'm going to go ahead and just arbitrate. I mean, I have $90,000. It's weird playing this game not on the challenge mode and just feeling like I've got all the things I could ever want. Because they gave me $50,000 to start with. But it doesn't give me everything, but we got a bunch of flat ride options. Okay. Make Main Street USA type area. The entries like Disney World. That's kind of, I mean, the front ones being so brick is not really there, but we kind of got something along there. We have like the main road going over here, and I left myself room for a couple more buildings. But, you know, we got our gift shop and information and all that. Okay, so we need some rides. So we can start with, let's see what I want to build first. Oh, one thing we can check is if I look here at our park stuff here, there was somewhere in here the marketing side of things. Okay, flat rides. Okay, so just generic stuff. Flat rides, flume, and all that. So there's not a whole lot of things, because sometimes I have like very specific things to do. You can build the synchronize. Let's put it over here. Man, I'm putting these way farther out here. Okay, let's just start in the middle, because they're gonna walk all the way over here and then whine about it because they don't have stuff the whole way. Okay, so let's go over here. We can start with some of these just generic rides in the middle. And then we can go in like specialized areas out once again the periphery. Oh, 1 second. Oh, entertainment? What's entertainment? Oh, entertainment's the floats. So that's the new thing. And then we have the parade circuit. Well, that's not how I expected that to work. Parade start. Create custom. Parade. So I guess the way this is looking like it's going to work is you'll have a parade route that's effectively a ride route, but it will have walking paths on the sides that your staff members will do that. Oh, right, we also want to build an arcade at some point. Performer platform standing. Parade platform. A synchronized procession of decorative floats that visually delight guests, provide entertainment, and boost moods. Interesting. But it does have like a get on, get off the ride kind of idea. I'm really not sure how I feel about that. Well, I mean, this is the new content. We should probably check this out. Okay. Let's put it over here, because then we have access to the staff members. Parades. Parades are coordinated processions of floats designed to wow your guests. A parade will satisfy a guest's entertainment need, but will cost you some cash to run. You can find Parade under Entertainment tab of the browser, then decide on how many trains of floats you'll want and their float type on the information panel. The parade always starts at the station. From here you can build a track along to the end station, or circle back around to finish where you started. The number of trains and floats you can add is determined by the length of the station. Long stations will, with a track behind. Let's see, the number of trains and floats you can add is determined by the length of the station. Longer stations or stations with track behind can hold more floats. The staff gate can be placed on either side of the start station and needs to be accessible in case the parade breaks down. The parade must also be tested before it can be opened. Parade tracks can have paths on both sides, allowing your guests to walk right up to the action. Be sure to add lots of scenery, even performer platforms to your floats, to generate or to really give your guests a show. So what it's implying, so we have standard parade. This section is where trains can stop to set amount of time before continuing. Section where trains stop. Okay, so we have parallel paths. Gotcha. I see how this works. Okay, so basically I'm going to be making... Alright, so what I'm answering is all this stuff I just put the time in, forget it, it's out of here. Paths. So what we're going to do is I'll grab the parade path, put it in the middle here. Don't choose the scenery props. I'll make the parade route the middle of my park. Okay. so let's go ahead and try the parade thing. This is not where I should be starting, but it is where I am starting. So, we're going to put the parade path start over here by where our employee area is. Actually, this gives you room to do a lot, doesn't it? Ending station for non-circular parade. So what I'm not sure about is how we connect these. Is ultimately what this boils down to. Is how we connect our main path to the parade route. Because it puts the paths on the side, and if I butt that up, they can't cross the parade, which makes sense. But in real life, you use your normal roads for your parade route, and then, you know, when the parade's not going on, you can walk around as you want. So it's a little confusing. So basically the big problem I have is I have the get on and get off of the parade route spots. I wonder, says it's got parallel paths. It almost feels like... It almost feels like with the parallel paths, I'd like to be able to put the path on one side, have the parade route go through. Yeah, I'm trying to decide how we want to actually implement this, because this is a little tricky to wrap my brain around. Because obviously we're going to need our people to go under or over the parade route at some point. I could sink the parade route into the ground. Well, no, because then we have the... I have an idea. This is a little bit cursed, but okay. Alright. Well, no, because the parade floats will be taller. Okay. So I guess what we would do is let me bring you over to where we can get the parade route directly alongside the normal route. And then parallel paths. And they only go 33 feet wide. A track that doubles as a walkable path. Oh, never mind. Okay. Okay. It does work correctly. Or not correctly, it does work where you can make it mostly a walkable path. Alright. So this is one that the people cannot walk on. The challenge is how I merge the two together. You know what? Hey, Psychotic, how's it going? All right. How big can my park be? Pretty big. We're definitely not centered at all. Gonna blow the entire budget on making a parade route. But it's the new content, so let's see how it works. All right. Too early. Too late. Okay, that looks pretty close to right. Close enough that it'll pass. Still pretty bad. So the question is, I'm assuming I can't just go right back over? No, that's fair. Okay, so now you switch to where the guests cannot walk on it. Okay, so I can't go quite that tight with it. What's your problem? Intersecting terrain. I don't really get what's going on here. There. We gave a little ramp up for no discernible reason to make it happy. Okay, so we've got this ridiculous parade route going on. Now, the big question is going to be attaching these areas to see if this even works. So let's finish that for just a moment. And see how we connect our paths and all that to it. Alright, so let's go to the paint tool, copy existing texture, do this, grab you. Full size, straight. Yeah, because we got this weird spot, and that's going to be the whole thing, is how... Because it's effectively... You can't truly make a loop. It's always going to be a weird setup when it comes to how you want to connect that. But you know what? I think I'm okay with this. What I could do here... Oh, I got rid of the wrong thing. It also bothers me so much that that happens, where it's like... It's putting a seam there, and I'm worried guests will have problems with that, like, just the nature of how the game works. Yeah, so anything with that is causing the seam. But if I use... that, it doesn't get a seam. There we go. Cool, so I'm thinking is I can probably try and set up something here. Like what I might even be able to do in a spot like this is put a decoration of some kind in the gap. So you put something here, and I'll make it look less cursed. Alright, so the ride is inaccessible and is untested. That's fair. So we need to place the staff entrance. It's going to go way back here. Because that's the staff break room right there. Alright. So you have no power. Which is weird, because you are in range of power. I probably just need to unpause. Okay, so we've got all that set up. Oh, here we go. Floats. Add new train, so we got trains. Oh, we can have quite the parade. Let's just start with a little baby parade, considering we don't have a ride yet. So train 1. We can make it a long float, we can make it 2 mini floats. I can apparently make it like daisy chain multiple. Okay. So we can add a bunch of stuff. Alright, performer point. What? Okay. Just regular staff member just walking along being like, look man, I'm just here. Oh man, they've done a lot if they're gonna have all these types of characters with all their different movements and whatnot. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and we're gonna start with the mayor on that one. Oh, your hat lights up? Interesting. You know, put the other mayor person there. I don't understand. Go here, go to train. Okay, there, they've got them marked. So we've got both of them. And then for the walking people, random attendant. Yes, the UI is a little confusing on this one. The parade performers. You're supposed to be that character. Okay, so I've got all the performers around the float. So I have the scheduler, where I'm not going to worry about that right now. The parade is about to begin. Sure, we'll just parade announcement. Do it. Alright. So I've got the non-existent float. So train 1. We have our different styles here. We can customize, we can attach scenery. There's so much in here. Let's see. Alright, so for the legacy. Sure, full English breakfast. Okay, so attach scenery. So interestingly, I didn't realize when it came to parade floats, it was literally going to be like, hey man, you got some wheels here, you best get to work. So we got set pieces. We got performer platforms for standing and walking. We've got railways for safety, which we won't be using. We've got parade float geometry to work with. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. What am I supposed to put the people on? That is a big... I don't know what you are. An aquatic float block. Former platforms, railing, shapes. You got the mythology front to this thing. Okay, we got the parade float large base. Is there a pre-made? That is honestly an excellent question. I would assume there is. Let's go here. Add a new train. Go to the train. If there is a pre-made, I don't know how to get at it. I'm not saying there's not. There very well might be. I would be surprised if there isn't. Because that just adds. Let's go to entertainment. Pre-made scenery. Blueprints. So blueprints. Building, scenery, all that. Entertainment. Blueprints. Ah, there we go. There we go. So, okay. That makes me feel better. I was like, oh no, this is going to take me forever to figure this out. Alright, so what I don't know is how we will add other floats to this. Let's figure that out. So, entertainment. We've got our floats. So we can start here with just the generic resort float. Yeah, that's set up right. Okay. So that's the group of scenery. Alright, didn't do that right. So, put you back at the start. Attach scenery. attach objects. Here we go. So now I can go to this. So I assume what we would do to make this work is I would stop that. We would grab the entertainment. We would grab a prefabricated float. So that's kind of a cool one there. Excellent. We have crab. The only problem with the crab is it's so large, those performers aren't going to be able to be where I've got them. Okay, so now what I think we do is we grab this, we attach scenery. Actually, one second. We go to our cart. Attach scenery, grab. You think it's fully operational where yours is just the base and our float with the resort on it? Well, that's the thing, is I couldn't figure out how to add it to the parade. That's what I'm struggling with right now, is we have a train, adding a train that is a prefab, because when you put down here, this thing doesn't have the wheels and everything as far as I can see on it. So my assumption of what we need to do, based on what little information we have, is somewhere in here, I would have the ability to attach the scenery, and my hope had been to attach this scenery up here. Add objects? So that's where I'm confused on this. Because we have under entertainment, we've got these pre-made floats. And it's a float, there's no track or anything. And you've got this parade start with all the floats already made. Okay, so this is their, look man, we know it's a whole thing. Here's all the existing floats. Which that's good that's included. Yeah, because this doesn't have the wheels or anything underneath it. So the assumption of what we do is this would be one that uses the 2. The assumption is this would be one that uses the platform. And we would somehow... Oh, it says attached to Parade 4. Ah, so if I just click on attach to Parade 4, now I've got the line here. So now I can sync that down. Why are you fighting me? Okay, let's go to our train. So what I want to do, I want to edit the scenery on the train. All right, well, let's just see what happens. It's not positioned right. But does the crab move correctly? Okay, it's not right, but it is attached. Okay. That's the whole thing to figure out. So let's go ahead and reset you back to start. So I have the train. Yeah, because this is definitely one out of the box that's going to be targeted towards people who want to decorate, that it's going to be a whole thing. I don't think I want to commit that kind of time to figuring out. So what I think what we're going to do is, while this unfortunately means ripping up my existing track, I should be able to go in here and just say, get rid of it. Yeah, I'm going to use the pre-made one. Because that's definitely one of those ones we would sink an entire stream into just trying to make the floats. which is cool. I'm glad that is an option, but also ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, so you got like the complete full pre-made one. Oh, I see how this is expected to work. So the way this is expected to work is you would have this back area here. That's where the staff members are. And then you'd have like this one little length out here that is where the parade goes, which just does a little circuit. I was under the impression it'd be like a lot of the actual parks have like the big area, like the whole main drag, yeah, the stuff go through. Okay. So let's go here. Grab our staff path. Well, first of all, edit you. What I want to actually edit I want to grab, that's fine. I want to grab, let's see. Maybe it could mean the possibilities for different themed parades, different areas. Just an idea. Yeah, no, absolutely. My comment is like for doing real life stuff. Real life, most of your parks will have like one big parade that goes to the whole park, or at least the main parts of the park. And then usually they'll have parts of each theme represented in there. What I want to do is I want to change where the employee entrance is. You know what? I can live with it. It's just my staff. Who cares about them? Alright, so we'll grab the employee path here. Okay. So now we're gonna go along here. Alright, so no paths on this area yet. Actually, I take that back. Oh, so that'll be the area that can second as walk paths and all that. We will allow paths on the other side. I'm so confused on how, like, because it's using the same tools the roller coasters use, a lot of this is not very intuitive. Like, once you get going, it's fine, but like, okay, how do you get the paths there and all that? It's just taking like a minute for me to get my hands on. Okay. Now, a lot of parades also don't do a loop. What they'll have is like, it'll go out, it'll follow a path, and then it'll go backstage. And backstage is where it'll find its way back. Not even close. All right. Now this is the guests aren't allowed to see it part. We have to make it go wide. Yeah, weirdly I have to lift it slightly up to get it happy there, and that's just terrain. Okay, so in theory now, I've got a complete setup here, so we should be able to go in here. And start testing our parade. Parade circuit doesn't have enough power to open, so they're not going, and he's just like, you know what? Not a me problem, friends. I'ma just keep doing my thing. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So no power. You require 31 power. Why do you not have power? Let's go ahead and deal with that. So facilities. Oh yeah, the distributor. There we go. Oh, the park is open. As I have guests showing up, and it's just like, wait. Look, man. This isn't a very lucrative business for me, considering the actual, parade route doesn't technically make you money. It's an entertainment provider. That should make your guests happy. Okay, we want musical. Trying to find something that remotely works with this. That's about the best we're gonna get. So you've got crescendo for sunrise. I thought that was going to be. I thought it was gonna be the thing for the Genuinely, the parade in silence is real uncomfortable. Yeah, those are supposed to be sound effects, which might be the reason I'm getting weird stuff from it. Oh, parades? So that's the announcements. So let's get to you. Oh, we can go to you. Add speakers. Look, man, we need sound here. I'm gonna just wedge this in here somewhere. There, you're standing on it. Or 1 second. What's it saying? Isn't that power to open? We've already got it. We definitely need to performer points. That means so add speakers. Ah, okay. Okay, so the idea is you could set music on here. Which is weird. They got all these ones marked as musical, and then we have the sound effects. Oh. I love that that's distorted. Those are sound effects I have for stuff on stream. Yes, I'm looking for is like the actual music that you can put on the rides. Oh, here? Yeah, these are sound effects. Yeah, so unfortunately, getting it to play, because it's like connect the thing to make the game play the same music. The thing that's throwing me is this is the sound effect list. I don't have the music list, as far as I could tell, because there's a bunch of music on the thing, so we could like have the sound of a gun reloading or whatever, but none of that's music. And that's what's kind of throwing me around, because this is the sound effect, but then this mentions the music, but I don't see where we set the music for the ride. Oh, you know what? I bet you it's over here farther. That's a scenery trigger. Because it was somewhere over here. That's what I was just doing, is it's somewhere over here. Now, it looks like they've got their own, override here. Let's go ahead and connect this. I'll let the test run on this thing for a minute. Oh, that's terrible. Stop that. Okay. So let's go ahead and just start building some rides off of this nonsense. So at least things are happening. As we're spending... Oh, meanwhile... Yeah, you're in test mode. We'll let you finish. So flat rides. Let's go ahead and get some rides going on. Okay. Snap, length snap. Okay. Okay, we've got that. Now we need the way out. I do find it always weird that your queue is like set to a certain size, and that you can't have your exit be the same size. That's always been a weird thing to me. Yeah, because that's line width can only go down to 4. I want it to be smaller. And it's not going to change anything. So that's the queue path, which is always the really small one. And I fought this battle before. Yeah, I can't just override it by doing it that way. Alright, well what I was going to do is if I could make it even, I was going to make them both zigzag back and forth, but that's fine. Alright. Big wheel does not have enough power. We'll get there, don't worry. Facilities, power, distributor. So we've got the ride silently going by. So what we can do now is we'll go onto this, paint, change music. That's fine. We'll just go with this one. Why is it not? Okay. Coral. Oh, confirm. There we go. That's on me. Okay, so we got that. It'll play music for us. Is this me, where you can't hear music at all? The music is, in a lot of cases, not playing, like, much at all. So we go here, that music is super duper silent. Versus we go in here and I hit the play button. It's fairly quiet. Like, it's pretty low on the equalizer. It's not going to play while the ride's not operating. Okay, so leave it on bargain for right now. We won't worry about the fast pass nonsense yet. Actually, take that back. Priority pass. We're going to do it. We're going to be that kind of a company. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. And clean it in to have more decorations and all later. Yeah, that parade's gonna take forever to get around. Okay, so let's see here. We can go into here, terrain, raise terrain. Because we'll end up building that up just a little bit. I can do stuff to like do a, because adding elevation and all that, because you can see how plasticky and empty the world looks. Doing stuff like adding elevation and throwing a bunch of decorations and all that can help. So we go here. All of this should be working. So at least for the ride running, I should be able to turn on test because I changed the sequence that affects it. I also came to the realization I never opened up any of this stuff up front. Hey, information desk, welcome to being open. The bathrooms are open. Staff building is open. Mechanics place is open. The gift shop is open. The other gift shop is open. You need to hire staff? So it'll automatically grab staff when you open a place. So you see, like, we got our person there. But you do also have staff you hire. So you can hire, like, entertainers and security. So I will plop down a security guard. We will plop down a spare vendor for so people can take breaks. A mechanic. And a janitor. You also have entertainers and all that, of which I will put the new one there, so you can have the mayor person walk around. Okay. We got all that going along. The test parade is still just working its way a whole way around. Yeah, so there's your music. Okay. So I've got to wait for it to finish its test, then we can open it up. But if we look at the ride, they have a bunch of things that goes into it. You got your prestige score here. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's the parade route. Hang on. Yeah, so don't give me any information yet. But yeah, you'll have a bunch of stuff that will benefit and whatnot. You can add all sorts of triggers and designs and all that. And thank you, DG, for the tier 1 sub. I really do appreciate it. I do hope you are enjoying the stream and all good stuff. Okay, so you should be finishing in a moment. Okay, first ride is open. Alright. So we can go over here, because right now I just need to get some basic rides set up. So we've got that. Do we want to go straight for having pools on this one? I think we do, because the last time I kind of slept in the pools for a while. Do I have the money for it? The answer isn't do I have the money for it. Am I going to do it anyways? At which point then I can open up a changing room over here. Okay. You can also build the arcade. I don't have that much money for building a roller coaster, unfortunately. So if we were to make a pool, create custom, we would draw it curved. Put like a little water park area over here, maybe. Okay. And I got all these trees in here that need to go. And I'll need to add basic infrastructure for the pool. That pool basically ran us completely out of money, by the way. In case anyone's keeping notes. Let's go ahead. We can go... there, connecting the pool area. I'll put a connection over here for right now as well. Alright, so you'll be able to buy stuff there. So we need to edit this building. Guess what I'm going to do is facilities. We're going to need to go to... I know it's under. Changing room. Alright, okay, so changing room is open. They can get their pool pass there. It's saying the guest will not tolerate our cold pool. So we want to go into our scenery. We can go to our pool stuff. Let's see. Pool safety is minimal. Okay, so we got some basic pool safety going on. Couple of tall diving boards there. Couple of short diving boards there. Couple over here. And a couple over there. Some loungers. I think we are not going to be an economically sound park, considering I've got a Ferris wheel, I've got an incredibly over budget parade, and I've got a basic swimming pool. Okay. And not really enough in the budget for actual attractions. Alright, so let's see what it says. Temperature, uncomfortable pool temperature, 15 degrees Celsius. Add a pool heater. Check it again. Uncomfortable pool temperature. Let's see. Now we need a filtration pad. Why did you try to embed yourself into the core of the earth? Alright, facilities. So I need to go to this stuff. Okay, so there's our water setup there. I need you to snap to something. Stick to surface. Okay. Alright, so let's check this. The water is being filtered. It is heated, but still uncomfortable. We need to add more pool heaters. Because they added seasons not too long ago. And that's a big aspect of the seasons, is that different times of year, it could be a problem. He'll add a couple little wave things to keep it from being perfectly flat. Hey, we're just straight up heated. It's comfortable, it's filtered, it's got wave things. We are now negative in money. Did you fit? Oh my god, they're still going around. This whole time they have not finished their first circuit. So we're gonna be in trouble on that one. And we got the big wheel and all that. Alright, so this is looking very not good. I'm gonna need a lot of people to buy pool passes in this place. We blew the entire budget on our parade route, and that may not have been the play. Okay. Yeah, it does look like you can do a lot with the parade, but it does look like one of those things that you've got to be really into doing the nitty-gritty decor side of things. Hey, we got our people actually eating food here. I got plenty of food options. How is the pool rated? Badly. Hey, the first people who've gotten their pool passes. Have a lovely time, all of you. Pay extra, please. I need this. Alright. Well, the good news is people are getting their pool passes and all that. The bad news is I don't think the swimming pool and Ferris wheel... I don't think you put ladders to get out. They can climb out. The ladders are an aesthetic thing. Gives them more prestige, that kind of thing. Yep, like right there, that person immediately littered. Alright. I want to just see this parade get the whole way around. So I can actually turn it on and have the parade for real doing its parade things. Now, the downside is, because the parade is effectively a ride that people can walk on, that does effectively mean adding it to an existing park is going to be extremely difficult. So if you have a park you've been working on for a very long time, you would need to go through and basically tear out like a main route through your park to do it, or just have this weird parade that's over in the corner. So that's kind of a bummer. All right, so let's go and consider our staff situation. And by that I mean, I can't afford my staff, so we're going to start by going to our staff and saying, hey, how do you all feel about having your pay cut? Like, every last one of you, how would you feel about a significant reduction in pay? All right. I'm just waiting for this to go so we can technically turn the parade on. But yeah, no, it's weird. So it seems like the idea is you'd have the parade playing its music, and then you had speakers along the route of the parade, and you turn the speakers on. Okay, so it is available now. You just delete it for money? Yes, I can. But we're trying to specifically check out the parade. That doesn't give me that much of a loan. Alright, so scenery. We want to do a test. Speakers along the route. Go to parade. Speakers. Connect speakers. That one and that one. Parade starts at 2 p.m. Okay, that's fine. And we've attached the speakers. Yeah, we still have the problem of it's doing the sound effects, not music. So that seems to be a pretty bad oversight. Okay, so that's the only one I have is the sad music, so we're dealing with that. Can I change that there? No, so this seems like an oversight here, that it's sound effects for the whole thing, not music. I always forget I have to hit confirm, not the other way. So let's go Planet Carnival. So you confirm. I think it starts. You think the parade says start music, which is why it's just in effect. You think it says parade start music. Parade start sound effect. I see. So in that case, let's go down to here. Good day, everyone. Alright, so we have that. Then what music is it playing? Unless each individual train has their own. Ah, each one of these has their own music. Okay. Okay, alright, cool. So then, each train could have their own music, which seems very complicated. Yeah, weirdly, some of these... when I play them, it's interrupting the other speakers, and the other ones it's not. Or it's just super delayed. Okay. And you've got you. Right, so... Train 3, music, change music. We can have you be the pirate-themed one. Nope. Cool. I've got the Viking one. Because I just want to test this. Good enough. Now you got the 5th one here. Change its music. There's genuine parade music here. Okay. Can I go here and... Okay, so there's a parade playlist. Okay, let's go in here and let's make it parade music. So... do this. Music. Change. Parade. Actually, it says playlists. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to set up each of these, because unfortunately it is each float. Which I understand why it's each float. Because then you could have, as you go along, you could transition, be like, okay, this is the haunted mansion part of your park or whatever. You know, you go for more spooky thing and all that kind of stuff. But this does make it so it takes like a whole big thing to kind of go through and be like, alright, we're doing this. That's kind of one of the things that a lot of people like in these Planet games, is that you can play it where you just play like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you don't worry about like all the decoration and all that. And that's totally valid and completely reasonable. And honestly, when I'm off stream, a lot of how I choose to play, even on stream, it's how I choose to play sometimes. But one of the things that makes this game stand out is like the fact that you can go in, because like this thing is like a ton of different pieces all shoved together to make it. All right. Okay, one last float. Okay. And the last thing we can do is the performer group at the end. Okay, they just walk. Alright. So leave that going for right now. We've got people swimming in the pool. So we're going to want to get more going on at this pool. Let's create ourselves some basic slides. All right. So you got pretty standard, just whatever slide. It's a relatively benign plume. It just swirls down a little bit. That's fine. Oh, don't do that. Okay, we can add a new flume, this style. Okay. This will be a little tricky because if I don't get it right, we just send the person sailing out of the water. I probably don't have that right, but we're going to need to test to figure it out. Trying to remember. Okay, that ramp's fine. And we're good. Are you testing with unpaid teenagers or sandbags? Yes. We're gonna build another new flume. Unfortunately, these all count as the same ride type. Okay. Make it a little bit tighter. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, because it's in the inner tube one, you can't do all the cool, like, switchbacks and all that. That's fine. Let's unlock those later. Okay. Looks like tentacles, pretty cool. Yeah. So I can go here, test you. Well, considering our park has basically no rides, opening a bunch of random water slides has got people pretty excited. I should have checked to make sure it actually made it through all right. You're not dead? And I'll add one more, because I could probably fit it. Okay. Here's hoping we got enough speed to get over that. Without creating a new problem. Okay. Just slip right underneath there. We're all good. Do you ramp off to death? You do not. So we got our weird tentacle nonsense going into all the slides going from here. Staff member is not available for the big wheel. What? Okay, so we need staff. Let's see. Ride attendant. There you go. Cool, so we're spending our money alarmingly fast, but I'm trying to get some actual attractions in here before we go bankrupt. And as our pool gets nicer, it will adjust the price up a little more each time. So we can continue to invest in the pool and to increase its prestige. Eventually, it'll be very, very lucrative for us. So what we do need to do, not the filter, scenery, pools. Then in the pool is the wave area. Put some ladders over here. Okay. Now, realistically, I should get some type of decorations to go around the pool. One nice thing about this game, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure... Oh no, changing the train does cost money. Let's inlay the pool just a little bit into the ground. Because you can do some pretty wild, neat things in this game. And elevation is one of the ways you can do the most with it. That's the same problem you run into with like games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, is a lot of the aesthetics can't really be done much with because everything's flat. So you can just build like ramps and all that to go up, which is still worth doing. It does make it look nicer. But elevation plays a big part in a lot of theme parks to break line of sight, so you know they can have all their utility stuff in the back that you don't have to look at. A little bit over here. We're waiting till at 2 p.m. in game the parade goes, and I want to see how that goes now we've fixed a bunch of stuff and it's technically actually running. Alright, so let's get another vehicle going on here before we get ourselves in trouble. Flat vehicle. So we got the Ferris wheel. That's a nice, really chill ride. Let's get something with a little bit more excitement going on. Get the Viking ship thing. So we can do here. Let's lower the ground a bunch. Got a fair point. Not sure what I can do with it, but... Alright. Let's sink this down quite a bit. Right, so flat ride. Oh, I did not make them nearly large enough. Because I'm thinking I'm going to do is make kind of almost like a little cove, cave area. Put the ship down into it. Alright. And if you jack up the train, there's like literally a button to be like, hey man, start putting this back the way I found it. I made a mistake. But don't be afraid to experiment. You can get some kind of messed up stuff from it, but that's fine. Flat rides, Viking ship. Alright, let's do it this way. Flat terrain. Flat rides. Grab the boat. Alright, we're just gonna do this the big way. Size. Okay, try it now. So entrance, exit. So let's get this connected first. Oh, that's way farther down there. Alright, we need to make that angle up much faster. Okay, that's gonna be a disaster. Definitely, definitely accessible. Certainly. Literally, it's gonna be stairs the whole way up. Okay. So it's technically open. But now what we're going to do, we're going to switch that over. Because I'm going to submerge this whole thing. Don't skip leg. No, this is leg day. Hey Panzer, how's it going? Okay. I'll have to pick some of this up in a minute. Make this much smaller. But just enough clearance in the front and the back. Because I have parades on. Oh, we could do the triggers. I forgot. You can do the triggers so it, like, fires off fireworks as the parade goes by. Okay, you need a little bit more space there. A little bit more here. Definitely safe. Okay. So doing a little bit to try and add some more design to all this. It's not this weird lump. Because a lot of times I will add like almost mounds and everything to it. This one's a little rough because I did really just send it, so it's now just kind of a big bump here. So I'll make it less uniform. Okay. And this will take just a minute, but I'm going to make this go over the walkway, and hopefully this is enough clearance for the parades. Okay. There we go. And right now we're just trying to make this thing a little bit more interesting. All right. Pool slide off the top of it. I was thinking there's definitely something we can use for it with the transport thing or whatever. There's definitely something we can do with this whole setup. Does the arch have a 6-foot clearance? Definitely a 6. Does it have enough clearance for those? Definitely not, actually. All right. Playing with the camera for a moment, don't mind me. Okay, I'll start with that. And I'll wait to see when the floats go underneath how well they clear. Alright. So, the next thing you need to do is we look at this, and even though we've done all that stuff, we look at the actual, like, aesthetics score here. As soon as I can figure out where it's at. Yeah, they're saying there's no scenery, it looks terrible, how dare you. You should be ashamed. You know, I might be adding a little bit in there. Let's go ahead and... yeah, I'll use the Mediterranean rocks. Oh, the Mediterranean rocks are not as dark. Tropical rocks. Rip all the money. One sec, we got a problem here. Let's see. Align to surface. Undo all that because it didn't have the... okay. So align to surface, all that good stuff. You're not doing a very good job of that. There you go. Line to surface. Let's see, are pets allowed in this park? You'd like to just leave it out by the gates. You don't want Babe to bring cow pies in the park. I really wish when I did this and I was switching between stuff, I want to keep turning off align to surface. Alright, that's a little weird up there. And again, it's turned off align to surface. What align to surface does, it makes it try and stick it on the actual ground versus you notice a lot of hovering and flying of all those. Okay, so we can go here now to this one, instead change it to paint. Soil, pebbles, rock. Alright, so we've got a little bit of an area here with a ride tucked away in there. And so now if we look at it, and we look at the aesthetic score, scenery bonus 100%. So that helps it. So we still have a little bit more scenery I want to add in before we're completely bankrupt again. And that's going to be, we want some kind of lighting in here. So you got like this Viking ship thing going on. We're looking for something like... Oh, come on. I'm all caught up in the trees. Alright. We got lights on the queue. Big wheel's in critical condition and needs a mechanic. A bunch of stuff are in poor conditions. Everything's in poor condition. Where is my mechanic that I'm underpaying? The parade circuit also hasn't gotten its thing. No, seriously, where the hell is my mechanic? Literally everything is falling apart. I have 2 of them. You're resting in the break room and you're working in the workshop. Oh, did they adjust the price of the mechanic? The mechanics used to cost a fortune compared to everybody else. They're like $300 or something. There, you got 2 more mechanics. Don't say I ever did anything for you. Alright, speaking of which, I just realized we don't have trash cans. Okay. I also just realized this did not put any seating along the parade route. Okay, you do have seating back here because it automatically placed there. So some good viewing areas for the parade. Our money is rapidly disappearing. Okay, so the big waste here is I got this parade, and it goes all the way out there. There's nothing in any of the rest of the park. We get all crammed up in this one little front area. How is the prestige on our pool doing, by the way? Prestige in our pools, we're at about 2.5 stars. As you can see, the flumes add a lot. The pool size adds a bunch. We have a little bit from the wave machines. I don't have jets hooked up to it yet. We are getting a lot of research points, so we can go to water. Let's actually go to flumes. Okay. So we can go over here. Oh, I have no money. Never mind. Let's build another flume ride. How is our finances? Because I'm assuming horrendously bad and ethically irresponsible. And in addition to that, for those who didn't see, I did max out my loan. Because I wanted to check out more things, because I'm not worried about, like, really playing the whole balance side of it. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit. How is your money doing? Profit. Where's my main thing? So shop inventory is a primary expense. We have a couple people got refunds. We have the loan payments are another problem. Parade services is on, or service costs is nothing almost. Ride services are up there. The big thing is we just aren't making money. Alright, it's almost parade time, though. So that's what I'm curious about. Parade circuit is about to start. Parade circuit service thing is expired. We've gone negative in money. Oh, hey. They actually are waiting for the parade. So, there's two speakers here. And the speakers did switch music. I mean, alright, the parades are pretty cool. I mean, pretend there's a rest of a theme park behind this, and not just the hill. I imagine this actually probably gets pretty impressive as well when you have, like, a really dense park with number of guests. You probably have this whole thing gets, like, full up. Versus, it's gotta be a little sad having all of the parade here, and just the smattering of, like, a couple dozen people. Yeah, and for those who didn't see with the floats, you can construct these entirely out of scenes. That's actually what all of these are. Like, we've seen that, that little crab balloon. I can actually grab that anytime we want. It's right there. Or, I'm sorry, it's right there. So these rides are assembled entirely on those shapes. And the parade definitely has to be something you have to respect, because it has not one but two crab floats out of, like, a total of 7 floats they made. Or are they fitting on the rock? Probably not. Oh, not even close. Oh, I'm broke. I can't move it. But yeah, no, I could definitely see doing a lot with this. So, the concern I have, though, is this is hurting my bottom line. Because if we look at our ride lines right now, everyone's watching the parade. No one's in line for my ride. Every single one of my rides has no one at it. But the level of detail in the game is crazy, but on the flip side, the level of detail in this game is crazy. Oh yeah, no, it's excellent. I don't know why you're running. The parade is gone, man. I don't know what you're chasing. The parade is outie. So the curiosity is a whole big thing about the parade. Is the parade supposed to massively boost their entertainment, which is this one here. So I'm curious if the parade is thing. The scenery is a little bland around here. Great free entry. I can't find a body dryer. Look, man. Sounds like a you problem. Alright, facilities. I can't... Oh, I actually do have a little bit of money. Yeah, where is all of our money going? So if it's shop inventory, that's not a problem. And the reason that's not a problem is the shop inventory, you collect it, and until you sell it, it's no issue. The big issue is we're paying a 20% interest rate, and the loan is going to take 24% of all money we make automatically goes towards the loan. Yeah, so good news is they all start getting to the end. I love the idea that there's these people just chasing the tail end of the parade around. Despite the fact that the parade has that whole route. So, to be fair, this was not a reasonable start for this park. Realistically, you could get a parade in here, but you wouldn't do this giant... You're paying for the parade to go around all of this empty space that has no guests at it. Alright. So with this we get a flumes. We can unlock more flumes for all this. But yeah, for those who didn't see the other things they add to the game, if I'm not mistaken, if we were to look into the flat ride, there's I think like 3 or 4 new flat rides they added to the game. That's neither here nor there to me. It's like cool to have more variety because, as you can imagine, we do actually get a pretty big build space. So we get all the way from this corner here, right where my mouse is, all the way over here to... It's somewhere around here. To this corner. So, right around that set of bushes down there, all the way past the far end of the pool over there. They've got a pretty big build space. So you're talking about your flat rides and all that, you can place all the flat rides that have room to spare. Now granted, the idea is then you start getting all your roller coasters in there and just overtaking the whole thing, which could be a whole big deal. Also for things that you may or may not have noticed when it comes to stuff in the game, there is stuff like if you don't provide shade, people get sunburnt and they'll get upset and leave, and that also can work to your favor because they'll buy more drinks and they will buy sunscreen and all that. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into it. Even the first one, there was, with the first one of the things you could abuse is people didn't realize with the food. Let me see if I've never checked to see if I can do it on the regular restaurant. If I go to the restaurant here and choose the food options, this club sandwich, I can go into the club sandwich and go, you know what? We could add a bunch of other extra stuff. So, like, for the club sandwich, I could add more vegetables and all that. It would increase the cost of it, but it would improve the food and drink satisfaction. The thing you gotta watch out for is some of these, you can add them and it'll start to hurt other stuff. But yeah, so like one of the dirty tricks you could do in this game, like the first one more so, is I could go in here and click on that, which gives me more food satisfaction, but decreases my drink. To basically dehydrate people to make them, you know, make them thirstier. Now, one thing you also have to watch is where it says diet coverage. Sometimes you can run into a problem where you'll have guests that have preferences. Yeah, it's saying 81% of our guests can eat the lasagna with their dietary restrictions. 77 can eat the club sandwich. 74% can eat the salad. Interestingly. Yeah, and it's the peanuts. The peanuts heavily restrict who can eat it. But you get the idea. You actually have that. And you can choose to ignore all of that. That's kind of the cool part about the game, is you can go in here and, like, get as involved or uninvolved as you'd like in a lot of these. Yeah, so our restaurant is currently running at a profit, a slightly negative profit. It's lost about $1,000 in its existence. The parade is not a vehicle thing that makes money one way or the other. Yeah, the pool needs more scenery bonus, but I have no money. Like, very genuinely, the correct way, like, to unscuff this save is to sell the parade, get all my money back for that, pay off the loan, and then start with a bunch of smaller rides and build up. But we said Disney had a parade, and we're going to have the biggest, grandest parade for our theme park. And then someone said, what theme park? All right. That said, I do think we are going to switch games. I'm glad we checked this out. This is something I'll probably do a lot more on my own time. For those who haven't seen, like, I'm just going to save this. For those who haven't seen the game, I'll just show, like, one of the parks they've made in the past to show how ridiculous this game gets. But then we'll probably switch over to RimWorld. But that was the main mechanic. They had a bunch of quality of life. Like, I noticed they had the place on top option got added. So, yeah, that's the one. I believe this is the one I'm looking for. But yeah, so you have like the place on top option and all that to make your life easier. I'm going to go ahead and snooze that ad for just one tick. That way I can show this real fast, and then the ad will happen while I'm switching games over. Yeah, so this is an example of a park that, you know, exact same mode that we built up from. And this is all custom, like I built every piece of this. So you've got your grand entrance. I don't remember what the name of the park is, but we got our wonderful signs are legal for now, we're not liable, and all sales are final. But you got your nice grand entryway in here. Where you go in here, you got like all your kiosks for like your place where you change. The employee area is back there. You've got gelato. You've got a hat place, because a lot of things like the modular store didn't exist yet. You know, put all this over because they did add the need for getting people shade. They apparently really have to pee. That's the information kiosk. But yeah, so you get the idea. You got a bunch of stuff, little entryway here, a bunch more changing rooms on either side. You get out here, we've got our big pool area. And it's got, like, the whole, like, something, and you can't really see it. But this is underneath a mountain ledge. And thank you, Joe Deere, for the tier 1 subs. I do appreciate it, gifting out 5 tier 1 subs to the community. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot, so thank you. But yeah, so as you can see, like this one, we started off, we built a pool. I put some flat rides down over here. The pool, like, I raised this whole, like, giant mountain area. And then we have all the lines. And this park has one major flaw. This is the entrance to all our water slides. This is where they let out. So every time you finish your water slide, you best get walking up an entire mountain. Or you could take the gondolas. So those gondolas probably smell great. But yeah, so we've got over here, we've got our little gondolas. They go up along this ridge here. It's nice and lovely. I remember we took a lot of time to move the trees to get them out of the way. But the main attraction of the park is this roller coaster. What? Was this the park we had all the money? Oh, right. This is set to view only. That's fine. I think this is the one that everyone is like a money name themed thing. But yeah, so they put a bunch of fire effects, so as it like zips around, oh, of course it turns to day right then. But so it's got like fire going along the rails and all that. And it winds through all of our water slides and all that. Ignore the fact that there's no supports on it, it certainly is fine. Actually, I'm sorry, there's no supports over the pool area. And we got tons and tons of water slides going on. But yeah, so it gives you an idea of just like... just a custom park, that this was almost all flat. And this was only... did we put one stream into this? Or this was... I think this might have been only one, maybe 2 streams at the most. But, my favorite part of this park is just this walkway up during the night. With all the canvas things, and then these are lights. Which they did change it, those lights used to stay on always. But they added functionality to the game so you can have it so the lights are only on during the night. Which is good. But it does mean for a park like this, I just need to go back and fix my lights. But yeah, so you just... it's this cool little walkway. If I can get the camera. This is this cool little walkway you can go up. But yeah, that's just a little park. But yeah, there's a lot you can do in this game. It's pretty cool. Definitely a lot of people sleep on this one. It is definitely one of those ones that you can like get into the details on it. But it is literally you can go in and like stamp down your flat ride, hook up the in and out, stamp down your flat ride, hook up the in and out, stamp down your flat ride, hook up the in and out, add food, add water, and play it like Roller Coaster Tycoon. But if you want to go deeper, it lets you go deeper. Alright, so bear with me, chat, because what we're going to do now is, on the YouTube side, the stream's going to come down for a minute, because we're going to be switching over to RimWorld. But I'm going to take 2 minutes while we're stuck in the ad break anyway to step away, use the restroom, flip the game over and all that stuff. It is just one of those things that, like, because I scuffed that last save, fixing it would take a long time. Realistically, I probably started over where I didn't blow the entire park's budget to build a giant parade to a non-existent park. But yeah, you have Planet Zoo and you need to master it. Yeah, no, Planet Zoo's a little trickier because of the animal welfare stuff. You do run into things that you cannot avoid, and for some of it, they can be a little laborious, a little annoying. I like Planet Zoo, but there's stuff like where you get the small exhibit animals, and they just keep breeding endlessly, so it becomes this whole management thing, and they've improved on it. But there is a maintenance that happens there that is not present as much in games like this one. But I think it's good. And to be clear, they also did announce Planet Zoo 2 is coming out, and they've also announced that there is a new Planet series coming out that they have not yet to tell us. so we don't know what thematically it is. We only know it's not a theme park, and it's not a zoo. It's something new. With that said, bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and take down the YouTube stream for a minute here to switch over for RimWorld. Then I'm going to step away and, use the restroom. Yeah, Planet Zoo, I enjoy it.